Piece of evidence I have viewed, I've examined every piece of evidence. Kyren Lacy is going to change the way things are done. He's going to make people think twice about what they say before they say it. The very last line of the report from the district attorney's office says, the evidence submitted in the crash report does not support that Kyren Lacy should have known that his actions were the cause of the crash that happened approximately 72 yards in front of him.
Do you have actual video?
At the entirety of the district attorney's findings, their findings after their own investigation. That's what we're here today to present. Okay. We're to compare and contrast those findings with the findings of the state police, because there's a ton of confusion. People seem to believe that somehow he hit someone in this accident, or possibly even shot through two cars and there was this explosion behind him. I've heard every version possible, but we can show you the version right now.
Okay. Sort of describe the video for our audience, what you've seen in the video.
Yeah, so what you'll see is in the top left of the screen, you're going to see multiple cars just making their way south to Thibodaux, coming from Vacherie. At some point in time, you're going to see the collision, which we're going to know is vehicle number 2 from oncoming traffic colliding with the vehicle of Mr. Hall. You will see another vehicle come to a stop, and then you'll see Kyren Lacy come to a stop.
So as we've seen the video, what does the legal law state about where you should be behind? Or I want to say, I thought it was 100 feet. Is that correct?
It is correct. You know, take out the fact here that it's a no passing zone. If it weren't at this time, it's 100 feet. What we know now is he was 3 times legally what he needed to be back in his lane of traffic. The gold truck, they end up getting a statement from this individual. There's 2 of them. The very first one, what I noticed on the body cam was that the conversation was going on for 4 minutes and approximately 30 seconds prior to the body cam being activated. And of course, when the body cam's activated, I don't know what you said those previous 4.5 minutes, they end up at this individual's house to obtain a statement. I want to play right now how that statement started.
Okay, let's roll that in.
All right, sir. So, look, don't worry about filling any of this top information, like your name, address. Don't worry about any of that. Just right here, if you could, I'll just have you write exactly what you saw. Just make sure to include, you know, where you were.
I don't even know what the name of that highway.
It's Highway 20. Highway 20. You know, that you just...
All right, me and my wife gonna fill that right quick.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, like, you know, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's...
I ain't scared my car, that's what I wasn't even going for. That lady in the back of me, she didn't say what was happening. That's how she caused that wreck. She was running in the back of me, she pulled on the other side, and that's not in it.
So, but the charger was coming right at you, correct? Right. And that's why you had to slam on your brake, the head on with you. So yeah, just make sure you include that, and that's very important because we're trying to locate this charger right now. So just include that in the statement, and I'll read it over, and then I'll be...
See, the problem with that statement is it is in direct contravention to what was said minutes earlier. It's not written by him, and where it says signed, it's not signed, it's refused. But you see, when I have a witness who is the most critical, and he's telling you, I wasn't traveling fast. We know now that he wasn't. The data shows 2.99 seconds before that he was traveling 28 miles an hour. The data shows that. Now he corroborates that. And he goes on to say, I didn't even make a skid mark. That woman behind me, she caused that accident. And you give me this statement that is refused? I got a problem. The body cam wasn't on for this statement. It was turned off before obtaining this statement. And this is what we get back in a file.
Okay, go ahead.
They state in here that they gave the impression that Kyren Lacy was actively passing vehicles when the crash occurred, which is incorrect. He did pass 4 vehicles, but was back in the southbound lane before the crash occurred. And now we know, according to this data, that was 72.6 yards, as it's stated in this report. So, in my opinion, this never survives a grand jury. Never, never, ever survives a grand jury. We were 48 hours from that, from this report getting to the grand jury. Social media killed him. His parents had given me a pin of his picture. And at that funeral, I took it home with me, obviously, but as he's...
Y'all, this is terrible. Was Kyren Lacy innocent the whole time? You know, he took his life. Did he take his life even though he was innocent? So if you remember, this is Kyren Lacy, and he is a former LSU wide receiver. He was also an NFL prospect. Well, he took his own life not long ago. This was after he was charged with felony negligent homicide, felony hit and run, and reckless operation of a vehicle. This was after a man died in a car crash on December 17th of last year, 2024. Less than 2 days after he took his life from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, he was set to be heard by a grand jury. Now, prosecutors have claimed that his supposed reckless driving was the cause of 78-year-old Herman Hall's death. But Kyren's lawyer, whose name is Matt Orey, has said Kyren was nowhere near the crash, and he has just released a bombshell video that he claims shows Kyren was innocent. According to reports, the attorney Matt told news outlets that Kyren was actually over 72 yards actually, when the crash occurred. Matt also provided video footage of Kyren's lime green Dodge Charger, showing that it seemed to be behind the crash. Now, from nearly since the beginning of the investigation into the car crash, authorities have claimed that Kyren caused the crash when he illegally passed 4 other vehicles. Now, reportedly, the attorney Matt did say that Kyren did indeed illegally pass those vehicles in a no-pass zone, but he said it's 100% false that Kyren was illegally passing them at the time the crash occurred. He also said that Kyren was in the correct lane at the time of the crash. Now, not only this, but it was also said that the driver of the vehicle that actually hit and killed Mr. Hall allegedly told police that she had been trying to avoid a big gold truck and not Kyren's lime green Challenger, as the allegations say. The report that was cited from the district attorney claimed that the state trooper that was speaking with this female driver who hit Mr. Hall attempted to recap what she was saying about the crash, but he was contradicting her statements. Now, Matt claimed all the way back into April that his client, Kyren, was innocent of all of those felony charges. He also noted, the attorney did, that he had a problem with the fact that Louisiana State Police didn't even question the passenger who was with Kyren in his vehicle at the time of the crash. The attorney said that authorities knew Kyren had a passenger in his car and that there is footage of that, so why would the police not want to hear from the person who had one of the best views of the incident, and why would they have not questioned that passenger? Now, reportedly, state police told news outlets that they conducted a very detailed and thorough investigation with the assistance of crash reconstruction experts and all of the information that was available at the time. And the state police said that it was their findings that showed Kyren's alleged reckless driving while approaching oncoming traffic led to the findings, and that those findings were presented to the court, which approved his arrest warrant based on the evidence collected. But since February, Matt, Kyren's attorney, has constantly said that the accident took place directly in front of Kyren's vehicle when a second vehicle in the oncoming lane crossed the center line and collided with Mr. Hall's vehicle. Now, reportedly, on the day of Kyren's death, this was back in April, on April 12th, family members called the sheriff's office after Kyren allegedly had a fight or an argument with his family, and he then shot a gun into the ground. He then fled the scene, and that caused officers to search for him. When cops found the car he was driving, they tried to stop him, but he allegedly led them on a miles-long car chase that ended in another crash. This one was reportedly in Spring, Texas. He was then found deceased in the driver's seat at the time of the crash when he was leading cops on the chase, and he had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. I guess he just couldn't take what he was going through. Are the cops trying to cover up something and just placing blame on him just because? Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments, and for more updates into this case and other true crime news, make sure to follow and subscribe if you're on YouTube.
Kyren Lacy, a black man, was framed for a crime he never committed. Let me know if you've heard that one before. The LSU player who was on track to go to the NFL was being charged for a hit and run in which the life of a man was lost, and they were blaming Kyren Lacy. Now, video footage has come out and shown that not only was his Charger not damaged, it wasn't in the collision or anything like that, he was nearly 73 yards behind that collision. The video evidence showed that he passed 4 cars earlier, but that in this particular situation, he was in his lane of travel and he was so far behind the accident. Yet the police officer on duty led the witnesses to make false testimony against this young man, and he ended up taking his own life. I believe it was back in April. Unfortunately, this vindication didn't come soon enough, but with his NFL draft stock tanking, his family being threatened, his life seeming like it was going to be in prison, he made the choice to take his own life. And now this new footage shows the truth, that he did not cross a lane, he did not cause a collision, he was not responsible for that person's death, but he was blamed for it, was on the hook for it, and is unfortunately no longer with us. So this video evidence is a bombshell right now, and a lot of people in that police department, especially the officer on duty, they need to pay for this.
Lights will